I was telling Megan my list of topics, and I ran her through one by one, and she just after she heard them, she's like, "Why would anybody want to listen to this?" I'm like, "These are things I'm like so passionate about that I just want to talk about so bad."
I know it's hard not potting for 3 weeks because your everyday life, you're like, oh, I can't wait to talk about this. And then you forget about it after a while. So I have some topics too.
Can you remind me what yours are, if you don't mind, or do you want to just do it naturally?
Do you want this in the pod? I can send them to you.
No, just say it out loud.
I gotta scroll up to our text. All right, cruise ships, golf tournaments, and the trial of Karen Reed.
And then you said something about Kanye and the Nazi thing.
Oh yeah, so the Kanye. So you saw where he was in an interview, and he was wearing like a KKK wardrobe that was all black. And so he's just having like crazy conversations with people. But my favorite part was right in the middle of it, he gets a phone call and just answers it like it's like a work call and completely serious, talks to the person for like 20 seconds.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Hangs up while he's wearing his KKK. He's got the phone to his head.
I've been watching that show Summer House, Summer House on Bravo.
Yeah.
And I realized that's the whole shtick of Summer House is that every weekend they go to the Hamptons. It's like these people from New York, they go to Hamptons, and they basically throw these crazy theme parties every weekend. So like one weekend they'll all be dressed up as pirates and like intense pirate costumes. The next weekend they'll all be dressed up as like, I don't know, like
is
race
this
car
what
drivers.
Celebrities do in the Hamptons? Because I always hear about, I was actually listening to a Don Lemon and Bill Maher interview, and he said he's like, I go to the Hamptons every summer and I met my husband there, Don Lemon. So is this like big? Like, is this a common thing or is this only for the show?
Well, the Hamptons are basically the Cleveland, like the New York equivalent of Cleveland and the lake. Like, it's just like, people go to the lake on the weekend.
You're saying it's as equal as a Cleveland to Marblehead.
Yes.
Same types of houses.
Well, in terms of like financial, like I would say that, because I mean, there's I don't know, whatever. I'm talking to my ass. But anyways, on
the
Summer
ratio is the same.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
This person's income and this percentage go there. Okay,
exactly. But Summer House, every weekend they dress up as something crazy, race car drivers, and then the joke is, I realize the joke every weekend is they'll always cut to them in these intense conversations, but they're dressed like absolute buffoons. Like they'll be like. So it's like really comical, but I'm like I'm kind of over it now. I'm just like, okay, I kind of get what the shit is.
They're doing it for the clips on social media.
Exactly. Someone's like, oh, look at this goofball crying his eyes out. Dressed like Mario or something. Okay, so you said cruise ships and golf tournaments. All right. So the first thing I wanted to talk about that's just been.
Should we mention Owen not being here? Or just act like he's not. Just. He's never existed ever.
You're right. We should mention that. Owen is not here. I didn't want to bug George because he's getting married soon and has a lot of stuff going on. We're actually going to his bachelor party this weekend, which I'm pretty pumped for, but we'll report back on that later. And I couldn't think of anybody else to get on the pod, so we're just doing it, me and Dennis today.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. And Owen.
It's nice to have a third person because you can step back, listen.
I know, because sometimes you're like, stop talking, and that person can chime in when they need to.
I have a feeling we're going to be chomping at the bit for that hour mark to get here.
But wait, there's no time. Oh, the timer's at the top now. We haven't.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. It's been, 3 weeks?
Everything changes, man.
I know.
But, okay, so I'm not a huge coffee drinker, but good transition.
Where did this come from?
It was my first topic that I was starting to talk about. I'm not a huge coffee drinker, but every once in a while, like I'll get to work early enough and I'll like just pop into a quick coffee store or like a little cute coffee shop to get a coffee just because I do like it when I have time. And I go to this tiny little cafe by my work. I'm talking like it's half the size of like a Dunkin' Donuts or what's a small store? Like a
T-Mobile.
It's half the size, maybe a third the size of a T-Mobile. I'm talking like they can fit 3 tables in there and then the barista in their little setup. And every time I go in there, there's the same guy working there at like 9 a.m. And I just
it's his job.
no. Sorry,
there's a shock that this guy's working every day at a coffee shop.
This guy is not. He's a patron of the coffee shop, and he's sitting at he's sitting at this tiny little table with his little like mocha espresso, and just like chopping away at his computer. And I can't believe this like guy. This is his preferred work environment.
No,
blows my mind.
Those people aren't getting any work done. They want to be seen for whatever reason. I've done interviews before where someone's at a coffee shop and they're sitting right in front of the bathroom. So the entire time I just see people going in and out of the bathroom in the background. I'm like, in what world are you interviewing? You think this is a good spot? And it's so loud too. It's like, why would you ever do a fucking interview there? And to actually get work done there, I don't see how you could do it.
I could see myself wanting to get away for an hour just to like get out in public, listen to some conversations. But like to do that day after day is pure insanity to me. And my new goal is I have to see what this guy is working on, because I know he's just sitting there browsing eBay or something. Oh, yeah. Like there's no way this guy has a serious job that he needs to get work done. It just blows my mind. And I like... And also the other thing about it is like the charger situations are like I have better luck finding chargers at a bar, like sitting down and working at a bar, than I would a coffee shop. They just don't have the infrastructure.
Honestly, a bar is probably a better place to work than a coffee shop, because coffee shop people are in and out, walking all the time. Everyone's moving around. A bar, you're kind of just sitting there for a while during the day, especially. No one's moving around, just sitting there. Like you can order a drink.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would say. I've always had this vision. I've always wanted to just start like a coffee shop equivalent, but instead of having coffee, it just has a soda fountain, and you just like can keep refilling your Diet Coke. It's basically a McDonald's. But I would say the best. I've done an interview at a McDonald's one time, and that was fantastic. Great Wi-Fi, great. I was the interviewee in this situation. It wasn't a great look
on
my part.
Yeah, not even a nice coffee shop at McDonald's. Why?
Just because I was at work in Lakewood, Ohio, and I just needed to get out of the office to do an interview, and the McDonald's was the closest thing I could find there
in
on West
Lakewood,
17.
The place that has a million coffee shops.
I guess, yeah, you're right.
So many, probably the highest in Ohio.
But if you think about it in my term, I have an hour. I need to go bust through this interview. And I'm like, I don't know what the Wi-Fi situation is going to be like at these coffee shops. I don't know who the people are going to be. I don't know how loud it's going to be. I'm like, if I go to this McDonald's, I know exactly what I'm getting.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, I mean, it's the same way when you're like on a road trip and you're like, I gotta pee. A McDonald's is my go-to. Because it's just, it's going to be decent. You can walk in there, no one's going to give a fuck.
Right, you don't have to order anything. Nobody's... I'm going to get the fries if I go in there, but...
If you go to like a small coffee shop, you're like, you might have to pay for the Wi-Fi. Who knows? What do you think Owen would have said about that?
I think he would have really agreed with that. But at the same time... I could see a life where he did work in a coffee shop, like when he was in college or something. Like,
no, Owen's not. You think he can concentrate in a coffee shop? I feel like he's someone that needs like it to be very quiet.
Well, let's transition because
I'm the same way too.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I want to transition though to you were recently off the grid, away from work on a cruise ship. Did you work at all while you were on the cruise? Is it possible to work on a cruise?
I bought the Wi-Fi, and it's actually really great. And I worked like 1 to 2 hours every morning, which I actually enjoyed it because I was outside, like on the deck working, and it just made me feel better than not working. So,
well, everybody was giving me grief because I was saying I wanted to bust out a little bit of work before this bachelor party in Tennessee. I agree that's forced, but I just pictured myself like posted up in this Airbnb in the mountains of Tennessee, just like kind of like easing my way out of work into bachelor party and not having to like I don't just like doing a hard cutoff from work, because then I like to kind of like feel like things are like at a really good place. So I know it's not going to happen, but I did have a vision when I first wanted to work.
I mean, it does sound nice, but maybe like you and Megan are on that trip and you're doing somewhere, not 11 guys that are drinking.
Yeah, that's true. Like ready to get riled up.
But it is weird on cruise ship because like you've been on a cruise ship before.
Yes.
Right? When did you go?
I went on one when The Apprentice was really huge. So what year was that? Like the first, like Omarosa.
Oh, that's like 2005?
Yeah, because I remember my dad and my brother were on a cruise. So it was just us three for whatever reason. And we spent the entire time just watching The Apprentice in the cabin.
And you know what? That's a good memory.
Exactly. And I wouldn't have changed it for the world.
All right. So Omarosa was on.
You don't have to dig too deep into that. I think it was 2005.
Okay.
2004. And then I went on another cruise in 2014. And my only memory of that is I was training for a marathon at the time. And there was one day where I had to run like 10 miles. So I just had to run around the dock or the deck over and over again, just seeing the same people. That's my memory of that one. It was kind of cool.
How many laps is that? Like
it must have been like 150. Yeah, it was insanity. But
yeah,
I don't even remember how I tracked it. They must have had like a set like number, because whatever. Yeah, tell us about your cruise.
Yeah, so cruises now, like back in the day, you had no access. There's no internet. You could buy Wi-Fi, but you had to sit at like a desktop computer there, or not buy Wi-Fi, but just use their internet.
You'd have to go in like the conference center or whatever that they have at hotels.
Yeah. So now everyone has a phone, and it's like everyone's out on their phone.
Digital society.
Yes. We're living in one, I've heard.
Everything's electronified.
Yeah. Shout out to Kyle Mooney. Great album.
It is really good. I've listened to it 4 or 5 times.
Oh, it's amazing. It's like
how was the vinyl? Did you get it yet?
Oh shit, actually.
That'd be a great vinyl. It was
supposed to be delivered yesterday.
That'd be a great vinyl to pop on for just like 18 minutes of like those songs are so entertaining.
And then you try to explain to everyone like he's making fun of the music, but it's actually kind of deep.
That's what's so good about it.
Yeah.
And I hate to give him this too much credit, but like you always compare things to Sun Kill Moon, and I really feel the same. Like just like really clever wordplay, but not that great of a singer or musician.
No, but the way he pronounces some word, like the way he sings, like
says meh.
And he just like stops. Like you think he's gonna be like digital society. It's like digital society. And it just stops. Like it's so unique. I love it.
And there's so many little words that are just like so different that pronounce wrong. Where my favorite one is Glendolyn Bartley. She worked at the factory.
I tried to explain this all to Lisa one night when I was drunk, and I played it, and I felt like the biggest asshole. Like,
that's a tough sell.
Yeah, wasn't good. No, but cruises are they're fun, but they're crowded, and it's probably the best people watching in the whole world is to go on a cruise, and just the types of people. First of all, so this cruise ship left out of Port Canaveral, which there's no airports around there. The closest one is Orlando, which is probably an hour and
so Port Canaveral is like its own city, right? It's not like Miami. It's not Jacksonville. It's
where they launch all the spaceships.
Oh, right. Okay, I knew that. Yeah,
spaceship's the right word.
Yeah, for sure. Those UFOs.
Yeah, they launch all the spaceships in Port Canaveral. So most of the people there, most cruises I go on are like people from Ohio. You know, it's like snowbirds and everything. Most of the people there were from Florida or like the South, Alabama, just so they could drive there. So that was just a weird crowd of people in itself.
What's the weirdest person you saw? Like what?
So I was playing blackjack, and this guy was totally fucked up, wasted. And I sat down there. I played a few hands, and then he's like talking to his friend across the table. And he's like, "Let's go, man. The vibe is bad here. The vibe is bad here." And I think it's because I sat down there and I was asking like the dealer how to play. I know how to play blackjack, but you know, you play blackjack.
Everyone has its own little, and sometimes
you're like, "What should I do here? Hit or stay?" And the dealer's like, "I'd stay." But yeah, that type of person. And then just a lot of, I don't know. You're like, should I be on a cruise? Am I classier than a cruise? And then you'd see classy people, but then you're like, they're on a cruise though. So they can't be that classy.
Compare it to just like going to, have you ever been to like a Mexican resort? Is it better or worse than that?
It's, so there's a lot of families on a cruise and a Mexican resort. I feel like at least the ones I've been
I feel like one of the benefits to a cruise is that you can't really lose the kids. The only way you can lose them is off the boat. But in Mexico, it'd be a little scary to have kids running around.
Yeah, and there's just a lot more to do on a cruise ship for a kid. Like for a kid, it's awesome. There's like water parks, arcades, all that sort of stuff. I like it for the casino. just easy access.
For sure.
It's
just a casual walk through the
Yeah.
casino, like on your way to get the Diet Coke is amazing. Yeah.
One of my proudest moments, I was playing blackjack and I gave Lisa $10. She went over to the craps table by herself. Got up to $150.
Wow,
by
that's
herself.
Good.
Yeah.
With $10?
Yes.
That must have been a strong start.
Oh, this guy, he was like a dad wearing Under Armour. He was on a heater. He was just rolling.
When you're playing craps, you want a dad wearing Under Armour.
It looked like he's been stressed out all day. He's like, I'm finally away from my kids.
He's got that heat tech on. It's keeping him cool.
And he's playing the table. On craps, he's playing everything. Like, person puts on, no, I said a hard 3-2 or something like that. All over the place. And I said hard 3-2, and I know that's wrong. It's hard 6 is what I meant to say.
Sorry, George.
But cruises, they're fun. I mean, it's just a different experience. We didn't get off the boat. It's all you could drink. There's like 5 different musical acts going on at the same time. So
they bring on like a Broadway show. They bring on comedy acts. No, I am big time cruise person.
Really?
I just love the water. Like I just love waking up and being out in the middle of the ocean. It's maybe the coolest experience. I love it.
It's it reminds me a lot of the dad from White Lotus that wants to kill himself at all times. Mm-hmm. You're just out in the water and you're like, if I jump in this, do you think I survive? In the middle of the night, you're like, oh, fucking no way you survive, because that boat is gone within 30 seconds.
I had another flashback to my cruise in 2005. I remember my favorite thing was one of those cruises where they would make up the towel into like a little bunny rabbit or something like that every time you left the room. And it was always my goal to get in the room and destroy it before anybody else got to see it. So I was always like running back from dinner to go.
That's a great idea.
Just to fuck everyone else's time up. Well, let's go to the White Lotus though. So I was out on the White Lotus for a minute because I hadn't started season 3. I forgot about season 2. Like I watched it a long time ago, kind of lost interest. And then what brought me back to getting caught up over the past weekend was when I saw that Sam Rockwell made a cameo appearance. And I just saw that him on like Instagram, just some like a little snippet of him on the thing. And I'm like, there's no way I'm not watching this with Sam Rockwell on there. I think he's my favorite actor.
He is a good actor. I remember loving him in high school for some reason. I was a big fan of him.
And the weird thing is I went back and like looked at his like IMDb, and I don't feel like I've seen a lot of the stuff he's in, but just when he is on the screen, he just is. He has a quality to him because he's not like, Adrian Brody, like weird looking or something. He's just like,
he has the look in his eye. Like, so his cameo, he's basically talking about how,
oh my God, that scene is so
had
good.
sex with so many women that it's evolved into like eventually having sex with transgender women.
Yeah.
To eventually dressing up as a Thai woman and having a man have sex with you
while paying somebody to watch him get railed. Just like I love how he says, I just took it as far as it can go, man.
Yeah. And just when he's telling this story, he's so serious, but his eyes look a little crazy too. So I think it's just that type of acting where it's like, this guy can really lock in.
And what made it so impressive is that Walt Goggins is the same type of actor, and he had to take a step back during that scene. Like all he could do was like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like he was like it was almost like a heat check for Sam Rockwell, because I feel the same way about Walt Goggins. Like everything he does is like I can't look away. But damn, he owned that scene. Did you watch the latest episode?
I did, and it was so good.
It was
just him trying to describe this woman's movie career.
Yeah. And then when he finally caves in and gets the drink after being
oh yeah, I love that.
And now all of a sudden he's like loosened up, hanging out on the couch, just asking her all these, and it's just like,
and they're watching like music videos, drinking. And I was actually interested. I'm like, this is kind of sick.
I agree. It's like, I hate to promote drinking, but it just does remind you just like how it cuts that tension.
Oh yeah.
So much with like, especially when you're in a social setting like that, where you're like trying to be fake. It's just like, bam, like I'm back. But then when when they run out of the room and like take the gondola or whatever, and then Sam Rockwell asks Walt Goggins if he wants to go get a drink, and Walt Goggins is like, I thought you were sober. He's like, no, man, that ship sailed. He had those 2 whiskeys. I cackled out loud, just like, oh god, that's so funny.
People are saying the show is very slow and like nothing ever happens, but I'm okay with it. I just like living in this world of theirs. I don't care if anything happens.
It's just ever since I started season 3, I couldn't stop. I don't think it's slow. I think it's fascinating.
Oh yeah, people are mad that like the whole buildup of Walter Goggins. This is spoiler, so don't listen for 30 seconds. Whole buildup of Walter Goggins confronting the guy in Bangkok and then not killing him. People are mad about that. But to me, it's like, oh, the guy showed up there and he's like, basically what he said. This is just an old man.
Yeah, he didn't think anything of his actions in the past. He doesn't know who his mom is. I mean, it still have an episode left.
There's one episode left. It's an hour and a half long. So yeah. I think it's going to come out that the old guy, there's more to it. Like maybe that's his actual father, something like that.
But the other thing that I love about this season is just the Buddhist themes. Like when the dad, the stressed out dad goes to talk to the monk and the monk's just like, oh yeah, we get a lot of people from your country here. They're like just basically saying like they're so stressed out. They just need to take a step back and just like remember what life is.
I do like the exaggerated features of these people because you can kind of relate to some of it. Like me being on vacation and just work happening. Like I felt like that guy a little bit where I'm like, oh, I just can't relax. It just takes so long to relax. And my little Razapan was jalapeno margaritas. So
ooh, those are good.
They are.
With mezcal?
Yes.
Oh, dude, so
little
good.
Smoky.
Yeah, I love those.
Tahini rim.
But so I love the religious elements of this season because they never really did that in the past. And it actually made me want to go back and watch the Gemstones, which I fell off after season 2 as well.
Me too.
And so I started that back up again. And it's a very different show, but I would say it's getting close to as good because this latest or season 3, they're on season 4 now. But season 3 is all about them like reconnecting with some of their like lost family members. And it's all about the 3 rich spoiled kids now being forced to hang out with their like degenerate cousins, like hillbilly cousins. And it's the cousin storyline is killing me just because it's like, I obviously like we have hillbilly cousins and I don't know who I am obviously the hillbilly cousin to somebody else. Like it's just so funny to see them like interacting with it's. I don't know. It's really good. And it's just the religious themes. I'm back in on the Gemstones. That's what I'm trying to say. I sound like an MD foodie boy trying to describe something.
Gemstones is really good. It's on HBO.
Yeah,
it's a good show.
I
agree though. It's a show that I'm like, I don't know why I stopped it because I loved it. Mm-hmm. I remember when it first came out. It came out right when we had our first kid, Freddie, and Lisa was up one night, and she was telling me how she watched this crazy movie about ultra religion and something. And then I found out that it was The Righteous Gemstones. She watched one episode of it. She thought it was a movie. Or maybe 2 episodes.
That's credit to The Righteous Gemstones for like making. No, I'm telling you, that show, it's goofy, but I think there's a lot of interesting things happening, like White Lotus, just about like what it's because like, yeah, like this season's kind of like about expanding the church, and it's like, okay, like how do you promote religion while also like adding value and promoting capitalism? It's a complicated thing, and it's I don't think they're just saying that church is bad and that these mega churches are bad. I think they understand the nuances of like they're very helpful to a lot of people. But let's talk about golf tournaments instead. So you can explain. You've had quite the adventure in the past 2 weeks.
I know. So I was in Florida right before the cruise in a golf tournament, member guest with my dad at his country club down there.
And his country club is in Fort Myers?
Yes. So
can I pause you really quick? Have you watched Full Swing at all?
2 episodes.
Okay. It's first of all, I don't watch any golf, really good. But there's this thing that me and Megan noticed while watching it last night that I couldn't get over. They always cut to the guys driving to the golf course in the morning in their cars. Like they'll be driving in their Lexus, BMW. It'll be Scotty Scheffler or some other big name golfer. And they'll be driving and they'll be sipping their coffee out of a regular mug.
That's a thing that people do.
we can't understand why. I've never seen that in my entire. There's no practical reason to do that.
I see this all the time when I drop my kids off at school. It's like moms walking in with a normal mug, and I go, "What is it? This is like a look. I think
is it like a brag to like say like, oh, I'm so like calm and cool, collected. I can like what's there like,
and they're walking into school with it like a hot glass of coffee, just walking down the hallway, and then they're like dropping their kids off. And to me, I usually have like a Yeti mug.
Yeah,
I'm going
like
to
a
my
normal
office,
person.
and I leave it in my car because I'm dropping my kids off. I don't need to drink coffee this second within 10 seconds of dropping my kids off. It's a flex.
Is it a flex? Okay, because I couldn't wrap. Yeah, I mean, if you go to Target nowadays, I'd say, and I'm not exaggerating, half the aisles are coffee tumblers. Like you can find a coffee tumbler. You don't need to be carrying a ceramic mug around with you while you're driving.
I think it's I'm a stay-at-home mom flex.
Something
like that.
Oh, right. Like, oh yeah, like I'm not on the go. I'm just
I don't need a mug to keep I can make another pot at home.
It's interesting because I had never seen that until Full Swing, and I was able to justify it for the golfers because I think they all just stay at these houses on the course, like all these Airbnbs on the course, and they only have to drive 2 minutes, so they're just like, I don't have a fucking tumbler. I'll just grab whatever is at the Airbnb. But okay, so you partook in a golf tournament. Did you play as well as Scotty Scheffler?
Near that.
Okay.
Yeah, near that. For my division. So we
out of
16 flights, they call them. And there's six teams in a flight. So they group people by their handicap. So if you're like a 0 handicap or
so it's kind of like when you run a race, how they put you in the corrals.
Yeah.
Okay.
So out of 16 of them, I was in flight 15. So the second last one, based on my dad and I's handicap combined. So we were in that one. We were the worst team in that flight. Man, this is hard when there's not a third person. Okay.
Want to take a break? I was going to go get another drink. All
right, go ahead.
Get your thoughts. Okay. Wait, you were saying that so you were in the second last flight?
Yeah, second last flight. So we were not with a lot of good people. So these I was about to say professional golf tournaments, but organized golf tournaments, you have to follow every rule. So like you can't, there's no mulligans, there's no gimmies.
The no gimmies thing would really add up. While I was watching Full Swing, I couldn't stop thinking about that. I would miss probably all those 5-foot putts.
So and people get pretty serious about it. So most of the people we played though were probably 70 to 80-year-old men who you're like, we're gonna kick this guy's ass, and then they never screw up. They're hitting the ball like 100 yards every time, never screw up though. So they're bogeying every hole. Where me, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can hit it 230 and then 200 after that, but I might be going right, might be going left in the sand, in the water. These guys are just consistent.
No, I get what you're saying. I mean, when you're a 30-year-old man, you just want a hot dog out there, and all that does, that's the only term for it, is hot dog. You just want to hit the furthest drive, and it fucks you up. And if you could just turn that part of your brain off and just hit it 150 yards every time, you'd be the best golfer by far. It's just It just doesn't look cool, and I want to look cool when I'm playing golf.
Yeah, and it's hard too because you'll drive and they'd be like, "Whoa, I haven't driven like that in fucking 40 years." Like I'm like a big driver out here, but I'm just like a normal golfer for our age. Like
it's almost like they're hustling you a little bit, like trying to get you to.
Yeah, they're getting me amped up, and we were doing pretty well. So the day before we did a practice round, my dad shot the best 9 holes he ever shot, and we came in like second overall for the practice round. And
second overall in your flight.
But the flights were a lot bigger for the practice round.
Okay,
there was only like 3 flights.
So it wasn't nothing. It was you beat a lot of people.
Yes. We did.
What was he doing? What did he turn on? Like what was different about his game?
He was just like never fucked up, like never went in the water.
Was he like putting his chips right next to the hole, like, or just really just never went OB?
He's always in a good spot, but I feel like he'll just screw it. Like hit one in the water on accident or just duff one on accident. So he shot his best 9 ever the day before, and I'm like, we're not going to be able to you're not going to hit your best 9 ever the next day too. So like our shot's gone with this practice.
You should have dropped out right there.
Yeah. So the next day we actually won so every 9 holes you're playing someone new. So we won our first match, then we lost our second match by 1, and then we like tied our third one. So by the end of the day we were like in 4th place out of 6. But yeah, I just fucked up. After 18 holes, it was 27 holes in one day. After
That's
18
so
holes,
much.
yeah, by chipping, I was like 50 yards past the green. 50 yards.
Were you drinking during this event?
No, I wasn't, because I'm like, I need to.
I did have fatigue. That's tough.
I did have one drink like halfway through because I'm like, I'm so stressed out because you have to follow every rule, like the way you mark the ball, the way you.
Oh my God.
Everything.
I do not have the patience for that, Dennis. Like, I'm trying to imagine, like, I just played 18 with you and 2 other people, and that round took forever because it was so crowded. Now I'm trying to imagine playing that 18, and you have to mark your ball, pick it up, watch the person putt, give them a fake clap, put your ball back down, like, just to keep doing that. Oh my God. I don't think I could handle it.
Yeah.
The only thing that speeds it up
is you and your partner, it's best score on the hole. So there's sometimes I went in the water like twice, and I'm like, okay, and my dad's on the green in like 4. I'm picking my ball up. I'm like, there's no way you're gonna have a better score than me. So you don't have to finish your shot because it's between the two of you who had the best score.
Do you have a caddy, or is this?
No. And some people aren't that serious, and they do give you gimmies if it's like if they already lost a hole. They're like conceding basically. Like there's no way we're gonna win this. But the most traumatizing thing, I played this 85-year-old guy, ex-military, probably like 5'6", like 145 pounds, very fit guy, 85 years old.
Jesus, 85 years old.
Yeah. And
that's so old. 20 years ago, that is like the oldest person ever to exist.
I know. He was old, and he wasn't very good, but he would hit his ball like 100 yards, get on the green. But he's bogeying every hole. But by the 8th hole, he came up to me and he grabbed some of my fat, and he goes, "What are you doing, man? What are you doing?" And I go, "I don't know." And he's like, "You got to get rid of this." I'm like, "Dude, I know." Like, and I started giving excuses, and he's like, No, man. Here's what you got to do. And he gave me his whole plan of what I need to do.
I'm curious, as someone who's trying to lose weight myself, please tell me.
Okay, his number one thing is you take this diabetes medicine called Metformin.
GLC-1s, Metformin. Whatever they're called. Ozempic.
Metformin every day, which I didn't know this. I thought it was like some vitamin. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds great. Like a collagen or something. It's like, no, you got to take metformin every day, which I looked it up, and it like lowers your blood sugar numbers, and it has to be prescribed.
So he's not exactly doing anything groundbreaking or disciplined.
No, but I'm like, well, I guess he's 85 taking this drug. Maybe I should take it.
I was just listening to a podcast, and I've been convinced in the back of my head that there is going to be some long-term effects of Ozempic and all these drugs, but they're doing the studies, and the benefits outweigh the negatives so much.
I think so.
It's just hard not. I think, we're probably all just going to be. They'll probably be the next electrolyte. Like you'll probably go to the gas station and get a water with a Ozempic in there, because I think we're all just going to be doing it and living until we're 150.
Yeah, I think that drug's been around for a long time. It's just now it's the people do it for weight loss. But yeah, this is the guy's secret. Take metformin, and then he also has Cialis on him at all times. I thought it was to fuck.
Yeah.
But, he said they has to take it to pee sometimes because I guess his dick doesn't protrude. He said he pees on his own balls sometimes. So.
Okay, so that's not a good look. He told you all this in this brief moment?
It's over 9 holes.
Man, you guys really got close by the end of this. He's basically telling you about his tiny wiener.
I guess, but when you're 85, you're like, man, I'm just happy to be alive. Who cares about my wiener?
That's true. Yeah, that guy's kind of got it figured out. He's kind of like a shaman.
Yeah, he's from Pittsburgh too. And
so real Pollock,
I asked him,
salt of the earth guy.
I asked him, I'm like, Steelers, man, like, what are they doing? They're always kind of middle of the road. They're good, but they are never getting like good draft picks. And he's like, I know the owners. I'm friends with them. And I'm like, okay, that's it.
All right, well, back to just golf in general. I do think the game of golf would stand to benefit from just like, let's stop pretending when you duff a shot off the tee that was your shot. I think that should be an automatic just mulligan. Like, you clearly, it's one thing to slice one right 150 yards or to like hit a dribbler 125 yards. But if you miss the ball completely, whiff it, like, for the love of God, just let that person take it over again and don't make them feel bad about themselves.
In a tournament, though, like...
In a tournament, no. But in casual golf...
That happened.
Yeah.
I did that a few times, and someone else did that, and you're like, oh, yes, this is awesome. Like, thank fucking God.
That is true, because it is... Yeah. I mean, that hole is washed.
The rules, I think, are dumb. Like, this actually happened. Some guy went up to, like, putt his ball, and his putter accidentally hit the ball. And he wasn't trying to putt. Mm-hmm. It just like tapped the ball. Like technically, we could be like, "That's a stroke." Like you hit your.
I do that all the time. Completely relate. Yeah.
Yeah, but my dad and I like we didn't care.
No,
that much.
I think it's like there's an obvious
that type of rule. You'd have to be a huge dick to do that to enforce that.
Okay, well, shifting topics. I know this is a huge shift in topics. We're going to pop culture. I know you were really excited for this new Seth Rogen Apple Plus TV show, The Studio. Have you watched it yet?
I have not, but I've heard great things.
Have you? Or have you just heard my review?
All the reviews I've seen have been really good for it.
Okay, because I will say it's an awesome show. Really enjoyed the first 2 episodes, but I don't think it's going to have a cultural moment because it is so in the weeds of Hollywood, or inside baseball is probably the better term. It's just like, it's like that movie Babylon that came out 3 years ago that nobody saw by the guy who did La La Land and Whiplash.
But people talk about that movie all the time.
Oh, like, no, that movie was fantastic.
Yeah. Now they're saying like this movie is amazing. I hear about it all the time. I need to watch it.
The problem with these movies about Hollywood, though, is it requires you to know so much in order to enjoy it. Like there is just so much inside baseball about in the studio. Let me give you an example. Like in The Studio, one of the plot points is about Seth Rogen's trying to. I'm not going to spoil this for you too much. He's basically trying to produce the next Kool-Aid movie. It's like make it the Kool-Aid Man movie, and it's supposed to be like the next Barbie.
I watched an interview of him talking about that.
Like, and
yeah.
And I won't spoil too much, but basically he's like trying to either get Martin Scorsese to direct it, or he's trying to get Nicholas Stoller to direct it. Do you know who Nicholas Stoller is?
No.
And I do, because I'm a nerd about this stuff. He's the guy who did Neighbors and 5-Year Engagement and Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Okay, so he's in that Seth Rogen world.
He's in the Seth Rogen world for sure. Yeah. But it's just like I like the amount of people I could talk to and ask them if they know who Nicholas Stoller is. They're not going to know. So it's just like I don't know how you could enjoy it as much as I do if you don't know what he's referencing.
I think about the show Entourage, which may not be as smart as that show, but it's very in the Hollywood.
That is true. People can ignore the references. They don't need to know this.
Like you said that to me, Martin Scorsese. Everyone knows who that is, and then like Nicholas Stoller. It's funny because you don't know who. Like most people don't know who that is. So it's like I want this person, this high caliber person, compared to this low caliber. It's funnier to you because you actually know that he directed like these comedy movies. But
I highly recommend this show. I don't want to spoil too much. I'll just say it's genuinely funny. Ike Barinholtz. Do you know who he is? He's he's been in a bunch of stuff. He was in Neighbors.
Oh, he was in Neighbors. Yeah.
Yeah, he's so fucking funny. He's great in this show. And the costumes are surprisingly like maybe the coolest part because Seth Rogen. I swear to God, I would have never thought that was like something like I would like latch onto, but like Seth Rogen basically dresses like he's like an old 70s Hollywood studio head, and he wears like these cool suits and these cool sunglasses. It's something. I would highly recommend it.
Speaking of Seth Rogen and how he dresses and Owen, I feel like they have very similar styles. Whenever I see Seth Rogen, it reminds me of what Owen would wear.
And kind of what Zuckerberg's doing these days. Like with they're kind of like...
really?
Yeah, well, maybe not so much Zuck. Zuck kind of dresses like a DJ, like a Las Vegas DJ. But there is a certain style that Owen's style is so unique. I don't even know how I describe it.
So the two people, when I see them, I think of Owen's style. It's Tim Robinson, very similar style to Owen. It's like streetwear, but kind of like
elevated streetwear, yeah.
Yeah. And then Seth Rogen. With Seth Rogen's more on the side of I don't know how to explain it. Like not druggy, but hippie.
Yeah, like 70s drug dealer almost.
Yeah.
Like someone who has a lot of money, but they're like not.
Maybe that's what Owen is between streetwear and 70s drug dealer.
70s drug dealer is kind of a cool look. Like, what's that movie Blow? I've never seen that one, Johnny Depp, but I imagine that's what he dresses like. Let's get it.
Reference. You know what's funny? I was thinking about this yesterday, and I didn't do many drugs in high school. Maybe weed, alcohol. That's it. But I remember I had my PSP, and it was like, you remember PSP, PlayStation
Yeah, for
Portable?
sure. It was almost like an iPhone before the iPhone.
Yeah, and it was the only thing that had a web browser. And I was on YouTube when it first came out. This is probably like 2007. And they had these things called, if you listen to this hertz of the beat of music, it's like taking a drug. So it was like, someone at a YouTube channel, it's like, listen to this sound, and it's like a buzzing sound, and it's like, this will be like you're on LSD or acid.
I buy that.
So I went upstairs and I put the headphones on and I listened to it for like an hour, and I swear, man, I was tripping.
Just to get back to your point about the PSP being like the precursor to the internet, I remember when we had a Wii back in 2009 in my family home. And my brother Matt or somebody would be on the desktop computer. So like the computer was locked down. I couldn't use it. So I'm like, oh, the fucking Wii has an internet browser. So you like are using the controller of the Wii, point at the letters you want to, like www. And I'm like, I would have thought technology has gotten better since then, but no, if you're
it hasn't.
Using the same thing on you go to your Roku TV, you're still like pressing one letter at a time, going across. Like, how have we not figured that out yet?
I'm actually so impressed by my TV now because it has the motion sensor, my remote, so I can like point and shoot. And that was like in 2008 with the Wii, I guess.
How have we not figured out how to type on these smart TVs yet? Like one of these brains Elon's got to leave Doge and go figure this out for us, because it would solve a lot of problems.
That's funny because literally today, my TV has the voice thing. I'm a big voice to text guy.
That might be the answer, because that is a lot faster.
My kids have been, so I showed them the game Halo.
Ooh, slippery slope.
I know. So they were playing it, and I'm like, oh, I think there's a Halo like cartoon, hitting the voice to text, and I go, Halo, and I go, hello, how you doing? And I go, Halo, and it's like, hello, how you doing? How can I help you? And then I'm like, Halo, the TV show, and I got it.
That's what always comforts me when I think about the threat of AI. AI, as good as it is gathering data from the past, it is never good at processing like actual use case or like what the future. Like they're not good at predicting. Well, maybe at least not the AIs I use. Like there's just so many times where ChatGPT spits me out the dumbest bullshit, and I'm just so frustrated.
You don't realize how much of the human experience is context and situations. And like what you're talking about and all that sort of stuff. It's all context. So it's so much easier to understand like what someone's talking about.
There's just so many nuances to every little thing. Yeah. And that's what makes like TV shows so good. Like a person who pays attention to all those little details of like Sam Rockwell's eyes and Walt Goggins. Like if you can zero in on every little detail, it's going to make something so beautiful. Actually, I have to tell a quick story because I actually, for the first time, ChatGPT made me laugh the other day, which is a huge...
Whoa.
And there are multiple times where I've gone to ChatGPT and said, make me laugh, just because I wanted to see like what it would do. Yeah, I just wanted to see what it would do. Like it always spits out some stupid pun or joke, But the
So
other,
what'd you say, and what
it was just
they
it was in a casual conversation with it. Like when I talk to ChatGPT, I
why
talk
are
to
you having casual conversations
because
with it?
when I do it, I talk to it like it's a human, just to like kind of like it's almost like a brainstorm tool for myself. Like I'll try to be writing some copy for something, and I'll be like, I'm trying to think of an example. I was writing copy for something, and I was like, hey, like, what would you like? This is gonna be such a random example. Hey, what would Barbie do if she were in New York for the first time? And ChatGPT would be like, "Oh, Barbie, the famed historical female figure, would love to go shopping in New York," and so it'll give you that response. And I was like, "All right, ChatGPT, hear me out. Let's say Barbie's in Chicago," and then ChatGPT responded, "Now we're talking."
That's pretty good.
Just the "now we're talking" was so funny because it like completely matched my casual tone and my vibe.
Yeah.
It was like, "Now we're talking. Barbie in Chicago, yada yada yada." It was so funny to me. I was like, "All right, they're getting a little closer."
That is kind of scary. Just think in
Yeah.
10 years, like that thing's gonna fucking know like your type of comedy and fucking produce it.
Oh, that is
right
scary.
away.
That's scary. All right, but the one thing it can't produce is the trial of Karen Reed.
Have you heard about this? Have you guys heard about this?
What the fuck is it? The
Have you heard
latest
about
true
this?
crime of the week.
So this is an HBO.
I'm listening to you. I just have to text myself an image really quick, so keep talking.
Okay. So this is Lisa and I were watching The White Lotus, and there's an ad beforehand for this, and we're like, oh shit, we're gonna watch that afterwards. So this is an HBO Max original.
Okay, so it's Max. It's not A&E or HGTV. It's a real. It's not HBO, but it's Max.
Not HBO. It's Max,
which is
I
better.
don't know
which is better than HGTV, which is like I've been watching the Flip Off or whatever, and I'm like, that is not HBO.
This is the hard part about Max is because they'll give you shows, and you're like, is this if it's not HBO, then I'm questioning it. And I look at the
Max
network.
makes good stuff. Hacks is a great show, and have you seen Hacks? Fantastic
I don't even know
show.
if it's Max. It's just unlisted.
Okay.
It's just on HBO Max. It doesn't have like, it might be like fucking True TV. Who knows?
Okay, but Karen Reed.
Yeah. Basically, what happened was this woman. It's in Boston, so all these people have these crazy Boston accents.
I love that.
They love drinking.
Okay,
at bars.
I can relate.
So basically, this guy was dating this girl, like in the 30s. This guy was a police officer. This girl was just, I don't know. She dated a lot of different people and was dating him at the time. They were at a bar, and after the bar, their friends that they were out with were like, "Hey, come back to our house. This is like 12:30 at night. Let's have another drink."
How old is this person?
They're like in their upper 30s, maybe.
Okay, very classic Boston. Like probably a little too old to be doing this.
Oh yeah. The way they were partying, she had like 8 drinks. The woman, like just on a casual night.
A woman drinking 8 drinks.
Yeah, that is a lot.
For me, that's like, okay, like you'll be all right. You can walk around, maybe even drive a little bit just for fun. But
yeah. And so like this guy brought his drink in the car, and he's a police officer too, so they just can do whatever the fuck they want, I guess. So they show up to this house. This woman says they argue a little bit. She sees him walk in the house. She leaves. She goes home. The guy never comes home. She wakes up in the morning and she's like, where the fuck is he? And they go looking for him, and he's laying in the front yard of their house. It's a winter night, so there's snow on the ground, laying on the ground.
You are a master storyteller, my friend.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just trying to get in your head.
Okay.
I like the details. So the details are helpful. The winter night detail is nice. I like
I
like the way you kind of worked it in there. Like, oh, and by the way, winter night. Okay.
Winter night. Yeah, he's dead. She starts freaking out. Well, he's dead. And they come to realize that he has like glass shards in his face. And so the police basically say, no, this woman didn't drop him off and he walked in the house. She backed into him because she has a broken taillight on her car. And hit the guy and then drove away. And she's claiming that when she first finds the guy, she's like, did I hit him? I don't think I hit him. I don't think I hit him, blah, 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 blah. But then the house that he was going to were other police officers. And the big thing was during the middle of the night, the one wife that lived in the house Googled how long until someone dies in the cold in the middle of the night. And so this woman's claiming that, no, I dropped him off. like he walked in, they must have fucking killed him and then threw him in the snow or something like that, based on this Google search. And the other people are claiming, no, this woman backed into him and drove away and all this sort of stuff. And so they did a whole trial about it. And the more you watch it, the more you're like, this lady's insane. And I think she did it 100%. Like, I don't think
what makes this better than any other true crime stuff you've watched? It seems like it's caught your attention.
I think it's the Boston element of it.
I think that's what I would like to. Just a real slice of life Boston degenerate.
And this woman is like pretty decent looking for her upper 30s, lower 40s. And she's texting this one guy who's like a big fat slob, like Boston guy, police officer, like haircut, like does not look good at all. And the way they're texting is like, she's like, I always thought you're cute. And he's like, really? What do you like about me? And she's like, oh, you're just so strong and stuff. He's like, I never thought you liked me. The guy was just so lame in his text. So interesting.
I think you have a larger point about true crime that I have never quite appreciated. And I go back to that term, a slice of life. It's not, for sure. It's not about the crime or the mystery. It's more just about like the real fucking people in these real outlandish 100%. Situations. Okay, I never got that. I never got that.
Like, what's the big Netflix one with Stephen Avery? What's it called?
You're not talking to the right guy here, but
I know the one that the huge one that started the whole true crime.
But
thing.
There is something about watching all that footage and that like shitty camera footage and the CCTV and it really makes you feel like you're in Boston. And
oh yeah,
I was listening last night. The Ringer, Bill Simmons, does this podcast called The Rewatchables. It's really popular, but I don't know if it's on your radar. And they were doing a live rewatchables of Good Will Hunting in Boston. And so basically it's 4 guys talking about Good Will Hunting to a live crowd in Boston. And it's top tier podcasting. And it's because it's just such an insight into what it's like to be a Bostonian. And what they kept going back to that was so funny to me is that there's such a mindset of Boston people, like, fuck you, you think you're better than me? Is so ingrained in them. Like, they were talking about how, like, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck went off to write a movie, but, like, all the people in their circle were just like, fuck these guys. They think they're better than us? They think the movie stars? Yeah. It's so ingrained in them. So
I think you're right. I think that's it. Like, it's making a murder.
Oh, right.
And it's just these hillbillies from, like, Wisconsin. And it's just being in the world and their mindset. That's what makes true crime great. It's just raw, like people's emotions, and they don't hold back when they're talking about something that happened to them that's so emotional.
And different cultures have different sets of rules and nuances. Like where one thing might not fly in New York City might fly in the backwoods of Wisconsin. And I'd even argue that's what makes Twin Peaks so interesting. They're like, hey, big town guy, like you don't know the rules and the circumstances in Twin Peaks. Like it's a whole different. All right, let's finish on my last thing I wanted to share with you. I was going to Target today after the gym because I'm trying to get in shape.
Nice.
And I keep seeing this every time I go to Target. You know Michael's Craft Store?
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about this. They Michael's Craft Store, they now have balloons.
No fucking way.
They have this giant sign.
This is AI.
Inside their store that says we have balloons. It's like takes up like almost 2 windows up outside the store, and I just can't believe that this is their big marketing play right now in this economy.
Probably saw Joanne Fabrics all shut down, right?
Oh, did they? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I'm sure the CEO is like, we gotta fucking do something. Joanne's is shutting down. What do we have? What do we got? Like, we have balloons. Why don't we have that poster everywhere?